We're back. Back in business. You open it over here. I can see comments. So unsure how this is going to go because of the time. It's nighttime in Europe, daytime in Asia, evening in America. Okay, we have a few people online. Can you people hear me? Salty Joe, is the sound okay? It's been a while. Can't remember how to do this. How do I get this silly notification off? There we go. Sound is okay? Okay, let's give it a few minutes and I'll actually plan what I should say today and then we'll start. Okay. Okay, worlds. We need to talk about the worlds a bit. Oh yeah, RCGP. There was a bunch of crying online about that. So I need to cover RCGP. What else? What else? There was something else. Oh yeah. Okay, what's the number? No clue how many people will be online now. Because we don't know Europe, basically. Europe is sleeping. But we have Canada, America, South America, Central America. We've got all of Asia, Australia. We're actually out of hats. Should we start? Where should we start? What number? Someone name a number. I've seen the first World's Track rebuild where it's just flat. 90. Okay, we have a number of 90. That's going to be tough to achieve, I think, with no Europe on board. But I mean, Captain Club Race and all his cronies, they're online for sure. It's evening. What's the time in California right now? I mean, it's what, 10 on the East Coast? It's like 7. Must be 7 over there. So if you just share this, one person, Lance says 1. Okay, we got 1. 69. Okay, I like 69 too. 69 is a good number, I think. I think we can achieve that. If you just, spam Captain Club Race one time, I think we'll reach 69. We're already at 66. 735. That would never happen. 737. Where's you know what? You know who's missing? This lanky idiot from the desert, he's missing. What's his name? You know the one I mean. Where is he? He said he would be here, talking shit. Westgarden. Antonio Westgarden. $68. So we need, there we go. 69. Tyler Henderson. He was number 69. Definitely. So we got New Zealand in the house. Okay, there we go. Just asked Antonio Westgarden where he is. Left is here. 74. Did anyone watch the Motocross of Nations? What a disaster for the Americans. I mean, they were all about it. Looked like they were definitely going to win. On paper, I mean, they should have won so easily. I just don't understand what happened there. It's like they forgot how to ride in wet conditions. Anthony, my internet sucks. That's not the only aspect of your life that sucks, Anthony. We both know that. Needed Anderson. Yeah, I mean, clearly they needed Anderson and Osborne. Anderson and Osborne, they would have won. How's shooting guns? Well, amateur hour, I got a huge bruise on my arm because I wasn't resting it on my shoulder. So, I'm not a pro at that. Okay, so let's start. I made a list of stuff I need to cover. First of all, I need to catch up a bit. I mean, I've been off these Facebook Lives for a month. I didn't even realize. Time flies. So I need to cover a bit of my situation right now. What's going on? Where am I? This is a new office here, as you can see. Then I need to talk about what we're doing with our sales of JQ in America and Europe, Beach RC and Donuts Racing. Need to talk about the Worlds a bit. That 2-week Worlds in Australia coming up. Then I need to cover RCGP. Actually, I need to look up some questions. A lot of people were posting about RCGP, and obviously I'm involved in organizing that series, so I can give you a few answers there. And then silly season stuff. Last of all, some silly season news, which I'm sure everyone wants to hear. So let me just look up that RCGP stuff. So I remember there were people crying on Facebook. Actually, also when we start talking about that, if you have any questions, just post the questions here, okay? And then I'll try and remember to check the comments and answer your questions about RCGP. But first, let's cover something else. Let's do a bit of a life thing first. Let's talk about where I am at the moment. Because as you can see, this is not my normal office. And that's because I'm in the Philippines. And this has something to do with my new venture I started here. So, I've been a bit of a gypsy, as you know, hashtag RCGPsy. The last few years, I've just been traveling around the world and basically being homeless. So when I broke up with my ex-girlfriend a few years ago, I'd never got an apartment. I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna travel. What's the point of getting an apartment if I'm only going to be in one place for 3 months or something? So it doesn't make sense to rent something for the whole year when you're gonna be traveling. So what I did was, I moved into my parents' basement. Yeah, that's what happened. Actually, it was an apartment. So when my grandmother got old, they built an apartment in their basement for her, and she passed away a few years ago, and it was just empty. So I moved in there for the time I was in Finland, which was only a month here, a few weeks there, 1 week there. So it wasn't like I was staying there for extended periods of time. It was a lot of traveling and just going there for short times at a time. Then I spent some months every year in America. I stayed with my dear friend Jay Smoker in Santa Ana, California. And I did a lot of racing, 10 scale and 8 scale. Then I did road trips around Europe. So I would drive from Finland to the south of Europe. This year I stayed in Spain for a month, close to where David Ronnefalk was staying. I also traveled through Italy, Germany, Austria, France, Denmark. So I did a lot of traveling. And then I also did a bit of a tour in Asia. Was that last year? Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines this year. So it's been quite hectic. Being a bit of a gypsy, not really had a home. And I was getting tired of that. So I figured, I really need to settle down somewhere for a bit, catch my breath, work on all the projects I have going. And then, by chance, something happened. So I came to the Philippine Masters in May. And the race didn't go too well. I was kind of struggling. But it was a very worthwhile trip because I met someone. I met my partner in crime. And so then I met someone and I came back then in August. And I had a plan then. I had a plan. I'll figure this out. Like this, if this lady is special enough, then I was going to move over here. And that's basically what happened. So right now, we rented an apartment for a year. So it's like go big or go home. That's basically how it is. Well, we're not playing around here. So when you're in the Philippines, okay, let's backtrack a bit. Two things. One thing which I was thinking first was like, oh my God, like it's basically a shithole country, like Trump would say. And it's so hot and humid. I don't think I'll survive that. Well, here's the thing. I didn't realize, but every time I've been in this part of the world, it's for racing. And it's always been in the summer, in the hottest time of year. So it's really sucked. But actually, how the weather is now is awesome. Because it's not too hot, not too humid, but it's just nice, t-shirt and shorts all day and all night. So I didn't realize that. It's only a few months a year that really sucks because it's hot. And then after that, it rains for a couple of months, and then the rest of the year is good. So that was a relief. So the weather isn't going to be an issue. Second thing, the Trump-esque shithole country comment. Well, here's the thing. I'm a bit of a gypsy in Europe and America, you know? I'm struggling, you know, to live the life. You come to a country like this, someone who is like a gypsy in Europe or America can live like a king in these countries. So basically, the way my life can be here is as if I was rich in America or Europe. And I think most people don't realize this unless they've spent an extended period of time in the Philippines or Indonesia or one of these Southeast Asian countries, or if they've spent time with a local here. And the reason is that it's almost like it's two countries in one. There's the super high-end shopping malls and restaurants and apartments and even the place where we live now, it's just apartment complexes. They haven't finished everything yet, but it's like a resort. There's a park area and play area for kids. There's pools. There's a gym. There's even some movie room I haven't quite figured out. I guess you can go watch your own movies there. Another play area for kids. Like everything's here in this complex that you need. There's 3 different nice shopping malls just 5 minutes away. Like everything's super, super nice. Much nicer than anything I could afford back home. And here it's like, what do we pay? Like $400 a month for this apartment. So not bad at all. So anyway, those 2 things, not an issue. The weather, fine for most of the year. And I upgraded from RCGP standard to much higher standard of living. So that's all good. But then let's get to my my point here of my new venture here, my partner in crime. So you know how when you come to these countries, you kind of sense that there's something weird going on. You see that elderly Western white men with a Samsonite under one arm and a questionably young girl under the other arm. And that's something that does happen, you know. Typically, if you're a bit of a loser, you can just come to this part of the world and you'll find a partner for yourself. So I was thinking about that and I basically flipped it around. So instead of having like mail order bride business, I came up with this mail order husband thing. And here was my idea was this, like surely it can work the other way. Surely there can be someone here, you know, intelligent and funny and really nice and beautiful young lady, financially secure, who'd like a husband. Bing! So basically, I became a mail order husband and I moved over here. Upgraded my life. No sugar daddies here, just sugar mama. What's going on here? Courts is calling other people a hack. Oh, beautiful. So you're a paid manhole. Okay, let me show you where we live here. Bedroom. And look at this view. Nice view. Looks a bit shitty here. The construction going on. There's one downtown area. Got a river. I wouldn't swim there. Looks a bit sketchy. Track is somewhere over there, I think. There's one track 30 minutes that way. Then there's another track 30 minutes in the other direction. So, nice little apartment. Fine. Yeah. So basically, mail order husband business is going really well. And like I mentioned, there's 2 tracks in the area, so that's good. There's the track that hosts the Philippine Masters. That track is about, let's say, 25 to 45 minutes away. And then there's another track I haven't been at yet. They have a race day in a couple of weeks. I'll go there the 21st. That's also about the same 30, 45 minutes away. So that's good. I have 2 tracks I can go to, and that's good. Where is she? No one said, oh, I expected you to say, where is he? No, she's in school right now. She's gonna be a doctor, so she can take care of me. So, unfortunately, Colin, I'm not gonna be over there. I decided to skip America this time. I'm just gonna be over here in the Philippines. That's the plan. Okay, so enough about that. We need to talk worlds. So one benefit of being over here, it's not too bad to get to Australia. I think the tickets are like $400 or so, and high school. No, it's like university, I guess, would be the name in English, or college, university. You know, becoming a doctor. Like, she's a nurse, so she needs to finish her studies to become a doctor. What was I saying? Yeah, it's cheaper to get to Australia. Like $400-500 for the flight. The flight isn't too long. I think, was it like 5-6 hours? It's not bad. But you know what's bad about the world's? Looking at the schedule. Jesus Christ. What are these guys thinking? Everyone complained when they did this the first time, and then they just keep on doing it. Thursday, 1st of November, 1 round of practice. Friday, 2nd November, 2 rounds of practice. Saturday, 3rd of November, 1 round of practice. So you know what I decided? I'm going to skip those 3 days. I'm not even going to bother to go. So we spend 3 days over there. We run once on the first day, twice on the second day, once on the third day. Fuck that. I'm going to have my own personal one-man protest and not go. So I'm going to show up Saturday evening, and then my first run on the track will be Sunday for 2 rounds of open practice. And then the next day will be 2 rounds of time practice. So I get 4 runs on the track. So if I haven't figured it out in those 2 days and 4 runs, then I won't figure it out. Come on, 1 run a day is going to be awesome, says Ben Panic. Yeah, it's so awesome that I'm just going to stay here. I'm not going to waste my time and money to be there for that bullshit. I mean, normally what happens for me anyways, I start off really good, and then I kind of improve a bit, and I just stay there. And other people start off, many even really good drivers start off worse than me, and then they improve, keep improving. And then at some point we cross like that. They keep improving, I just stay the same. So I figured those first 3 days, I don't need those days. So I'm going to skip those. So that's going to be an interesting experiment. Yeah, a guy like you, JQ, should live in a warm country permanently and develop JQ cars. Well, that's the plan. Now I have peace and quiet, 2 tracks, nice weather, except the rainy season. Girlfriend wouldn't let you go for 10 days. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she would, but I don't want to go. That's the problem. Mike Walker says, don't worry, Courts, I don't think you're a hack. Well, Mike, it doesn't matter what you think. Facts don't care about your feelings, right? Or your thoughts. They're just facts, and Courts is a huge hack. I will PayPal you to cut off someone's radio on the driver's stand. Well, you know what? This could be my last world, so what the hell, just start a GoFundMe, get enough money in there, and I'll shut everyone's radio off in the driver's stand. How about that? Okay, so I'm gonna skip the first 3 days of the Worlds in Australia. Reason being, it's bullshit. Why do we have so much practice? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of practice. There's 6 days of practice, people. 6, we're talking about practice. 6 days of practice. That's ridiculous. Sorry, 5 days. There's so many days, I can't even count them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 days of practice. There were so many days I thought there were 6, but they did the schedule badly. I'm gonna blame the schedule. So 5 days of practice, I'm gonna skip 3 of them. I'm just gonna do 2 days of practice. And then I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3 days of qualifying, then have a day off, hopefully, and then the last day, mains. So that's that. Then also they're gonna be watering the track. Now that's gonna be interesting. So probably the first day of practice just a waste of time anyway, because the track's coming in and all that shit. So I mean that day everyone can just skip. Day 1, pointless. Day 2, okay, I can see some, you know, maybe you can learn something, but just a waste of time. You know, just skip that. Third day, if it had been more than 1 round, then maybe it would have been worth it. But with just 1 round, yeah, just skip that shit. So, too many days of practice, watering the track. It's not looking good. Other than that, everything seems great. I'm hoping it's going to be a great race. More practice than racing. Yeah, exactly. So that actually brings me to the next point. That's enough about the Worlds. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to miss some days, and you can follow my progress. So you'll know if I'm doing well early in qualifying, those practice days were completely unnecessary. But that brings me to the next point, which is RCGP. And there are a few weird, how can I say, like strange attitudes towards RCGP that I don't quite understand. So as you know, hopefully you've been on the website, you've seen that, and the idea was to create a World Series for 8-scale nitro buggies, and I'm involved in the creation of that. So I had this idea like, let's make a series, and then I gathered the right people around me. So David Isherwood, who's kind of the businessman or the CEO of this new venture, and Scotty Ernst to do the announcing, RC Racing TV to do live shows, live RC for the timing, Matt McCollum from Control to do videos, Mau Graphics, Maurizio to be the race director, P.S. Bailon actually here in the Philippines to do the website and the technical stuff. So there's a good group of people working on this series. And when we released all the info, I feel like some people just don't understand the vision. They feel like, oh, this is going to be really expensive. It's going to be super expensive for the companies, and it's going to make the average Joe pay more for the equipment. It's going to be an elitist series, like you need a lot of money to go to the races, so it sucks. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? How can a race series possibly be bad for the hobby or bad for 8-scale off-road? As it is right now, you see the best drivers racing each other once every 2 years. If this series works out, you'll see them like race 4 weekends this coming year 8 times, because every weekend is 2 individual races. Friday is practice, Saturday is 1 whole race, Sunday is another whole race. So there's 8 races you get to see them race. The format is different too. You don't qualify against the clock, you're racing each other. So heads up qualifying, and you get to watch long mains. So 8 of those races with the best drivers in the world racing each other in a points championship. How can that be worse? There's also an open class at these races, so anyone can join. Yes, you aren't in the same class with the best drivers, but maybe that should be your goal. Maybe you're practicing and racing so you can be there one day. Maybe you can win the open class, get a wildcard entry into the RCGP class. So there's ways for you to get in there. If you're good enough, then you'll have a sponsor that wants to send you there. It's just like any other sport. So you can go watch motocross, MotoGP, Formula One, any kind of sport. Everyone doesn't get to race. There's a reason for that. They get the best. Well, a Formula One is a bit different because they just get a few good ones and then the rest pay to get in. But the goal of RCGP is to have the best drivers. So every brand send their best drivers there. So I don't understand how that can be bad. I think it's more exciting for the top races themselves and also for everyone following it. I mean, I don't think it would be as much fun following motocross if it wasn't a series or supercross. Imagine there was one supercross race somewhere in Phoenix and two good guys were there and the other guys sucked. And then same weekend there's some other supercross race in New York and same thing, like a couple of good guys. It doesn't make any sense. Just have them all together, create a series, and that's more exciting for everyone. And then the second thing about the cost, well, the manufacturers are already sending drivers to a lot of races around the world. This is just a case of what do they prioritize? Do they choose to send their drivers to the RCGP races instead of something else? Or do they still send them to all the races they're doing now, currently, and then complain, oh, it's too much money? So that's up to the manufacturers. They don't necessarily need to spend any more money. They just have to choose which races to send their drivers to. And hopefully that's RCGP. Hopefully all the manufacturers decide, like, okay, let's support this series because it can make a difference in RC. It's trying something new. Let's try it out for a year. And if they do that, I doubt that their budgets actually increase over what they are already spending. And for the average guy, it's just like any other race. People already attend Buggyland in Spain. They already attend Philippine Masters. So I don't see how that's changing. We're just taking over 3 existing races. Well, actually 4, because Italian Job in Italy is also being replaced. The last race hasn't been announced yet, but I can already say it's at A Main, Labor Day Shootout. Instead of that race, it's going to be an RCGP. So all 4 races are actually existing races that people already went to and manufacturers already sent their drivers to. So I really don't see how that's a problem. So I just wanted to address that. I can't read more. Yeah, for change to actually happen, things actually have to change, exactly. To make an omelette, you have to break some eggs, right? If you want different, do different. Mike Bellotti saying, oh my God, what is... I'm going to be sad there. I'm going to be sad on your comment because I'm trying to see more and it won't allow me. Yeah, well, unfortunately with the format you can't do it. The series has to be closed. The RCGP portion of the race has to be closed. Before the race you have to have the drivers who are then going to compete in it. You can't have it like people can qualify in and this and that. Like, we're just not going to do it that way. We can have it where if sign-ups are low, then we have wildcard spots, and if we don't fill the wildcard spots, then it's possible, for example, after practice, the fastest open class guys can race RCGP. Something like that's possible, but it's not guaranteed. The open class is separate from the RCGP class, and also there are going to be really good drivers in the open class. So it's not like, oh, I can't make RCGP, so I'm not going to go because there's no competition. No, there's going to be really top drivers in the open class too. What's a beer cost there? Not much. Not much. Probably less than $1. No NorCal right now. Robin Showers is convinced that Cavalieri is going to run JQ next year. That's interesting. Cavalieri is probably the highest paid racer, but it's not like it's from one company. It's just all the companies are paying him, but all of them are paying him a lot. Silver State has been scheduled for the same date as RCGP round 1 in the Philippines. Yeah, the same thing happened this year. So that's all. That's again just a question of priorities. Do the companies want their drivers to be at the RCGP so they have a chance to win the series, or would they prefer to miss the first race and do Silver State? That's up to them. So the manufacturers and the drivers have to choose. Silver State is just a one-off race that happens every year, and RCGP is a series. Yeah, I'm rich now. Over here, I'm rich, basically. Courts, shut up. No one cares about you now that you're retired. Okay? Your opinions don't count anymore. So anyway, let's check. Do you have any questions about RCGP? In the meantime, I'll look for those, especially this one guy from Norway, Eivind Espenes, who thinks that series is going to cost $4.6 million. I mean, this guy is retarded. We've explained the thing to him and he still doesn't understand. Quartz has 3 middle fingers. That's interesting. What's the middle one, Quartz? So he was saying it's expensive also, yeah, because he watched that trailer, the teaser video. Obviously the point of the $100,000 was just to someone who doesn't know RC racing, they understand that, oh, the top drivers can make 100 grand. Like, people are actually paid to do this. That's the point. Not that every single driver in RCGP is going to be paid 100 grand. I mean, what are you thinking? I just don't understand. Another thing I think, which could be good with this series, is right now I feel like everyone's a pro. Everyone thinks that they're the world's best. Everyone has their name on their shirt, and they think they deserve to be paid and a pro racer. I get that all the time. Oh, I should be sponsored, I should be paid, can you pay my travel? It's like, who are you, you know? I think if there was a series like RCGP, it's a bit of a line also for the manufacturers. They can be like, well, you're not racing this series, so why should I pay you? Imagine if all manufacturers were like that. Imagine if it would be like, if you're not racing this series, then you're not going to be at this level that the elite guys are. And you would even understand that yourself as a driver. So your goal would be to one day be there. You are thinking like, man, I'm going to practice and race so much that eventually I'm going to be picked for a factory team and I can race RCGP on a factory team. Just like in other sports, if you're not racing the world championships, then you're not going to be paid as much. You're not going to have the same benefits. You're not going to be viewed as the same level driver. Now there's no real system to do that. Yeah, there's the top 25, but that's kind of, it doesn't really work because you have to be at the right races to be ranked there. So yeah, the best drivers are at the top, obviously, but the order they are, that's just, you know, I don't agree with that. And also, let's say from 10th position down, it's just throw a couple of dice, basically. It depends on what races you go to and where you live. So I think having a series like this could actually be good in the long term for the industry and the manufacturers, if the manufacturers take it as, okay, so the best guys are here, this is where we focus our resources, and then the other guys are kind of trying to get there. So it would focus the efforts of the brands, and it would also create a goal for racers to try and achieve. And I think that would be good. Okay, we have a question. I don't know why this silly phone can't just see more. Are my fingers too fat now or what? Will the team's drivers get winnings money? Yes, so there's an aspect to the series also where when RCGP makes a profit, then that profit is shared with teams, and it's shared as travel money for the following year. So they don't just get cash like, oh yeah, we made some money back. No, for the next year for travel expenses, that's how they get money back. So they actually have to support the series and go to the races, and then their travel expenses covered. So that depends on how successful the series is. Obviously, if we make no money, they'll get no travel money. If the series makes money, then they get travel money. And also the winning driver of the series, their team will also get money, and the team then decides how that's distributed. Like, do they pay everything to the driver, or do they pay half, or whatever? That's something the driver and the team, their sponsors have to negotiate and decide amongst themselves. Each race has a payout too, not very much. Just it's going to be like a few $100s, something like that. But the main series is going to have a 5-figure payout, and then as I said, every team will get travel money for the following year, depending on the success of the series. Every time it just, instead of see more, the emojis pop up. How the hell do I get rid of that? I don't want emojis, I want to see more. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna smash this phone. I'm gonna smash this phone like Khabib smashed Conor McGregor. That's how I'm gonna smash this iPhone. That was pretty funny, that everything that went down. Okay, Tyrone Robinson, where's my hat? Well, you need to get your, I'll show you. Jesus, I always hit my head there. So Tyrone is asking, where's my hat? Well, this is how it works. So you get your wallet, and since you're not here, you're gonna have to go online and do this. So you can get a credit card. It looks like this. You get this card, and then you can pay for a hat, or you can use PayPal also. Now, when I receive money, then I'll send you a hat. That's how it works. So that's basic. Yeah. That's the basic knowledge you need to be able to get a hat. I just don't understand why drone racing is on TV but RC off-road isn't. Well, I think I can answer that question for you. Drone racing is on TV because it was accessible and relatable. So drones blew up, and every supermarket had these drones that people could get, and they had gyros in them, and they were super easy to fly. And there were also pretty inexpensive drones with cameras on them. So you could fly, anyone could fly a drone basically and take pictures or video, and then first person view drones came and people started playing around with them, and it's just more accessible, easy and relatable, so anyone could do it. Enough people got them to where when they had racing, people were initially interested because they knew, oh, that's like the drone that we have or whatever. But I never thought that it was going to last, because it sucks. You can't watch it. I mean, it's not something that's fun to watch. But it blew up at first because of all the money invested in it, and then I think it's pretty much died down a bit now, right? And I think that's just because it's not fun to watch. Now, RC cars is more fun to watch, definitely, but it's not as accessible and relatable to people because it's harder to do. So it's harder, first of all, to get all the equipment and get it running, and then actually drive the thing and go to a track. A drone you can fly anywhere. So you need, there's too much effort required to successfully drive an RC car. That's why it's not as accessible to everyone. So not that many people are into it or know about it to where they would be interested in watching RC racing. And I think RCGP can grow that to a certain extent by joining events like Motocross World Championships or AMA Motocross Championship or the Supercrosses. If we can set up a track in the pits and have an RCGP event there, the best drivers in the world, pro announcing, everything looks awesome. Those same people that ride dirt bikes, they are interested in RC cars too. And that's a way to get more people into the hobby. I'm not worried about having RC racing on TV. You don't need TV. Now you just need YouTube. If you have quality videos on YouTube and you start getting a larger and larger audience there, that's all you need. That's really all you need, because Those same people that like these sorts of off-road sports, dirt bikes, desert racing, you know, quads, cars, buggies, all this stuff, those people, when they see RC racing, they're interested. But it's just that a lot of them have never seen it and they don't know how professional and how cool it can be. So if they see that on YouTube, then maybe they'll look into getting a car. That's that lemonade you're drinking. You know, I'm drinking, I'll show you what I'm drinking. The sweat of Bacardi. I don't know what a Bacardi is, but its sweat is pretty good. Sounds like a scam. What's a scam, THEGuide? I don't think anyone is going to Neo next year, because I don't think there's going to be a Neo next year. What media outlet covers the races? Where will we be able to see each round, I think? I mean, the RCGP races you can see on the RCGP website. And YouTube is going to be RCGP TV. So the live streams are going to be there. And I hope other news websites like Circus RC, Neo Red RC, Live RC, you know, I would hope that some of them at least cover the series too. But everything will definitely be on the RCGP website and YouTube. And RCMX Online will of course cover that stuff too. So that's not going to be an issue. Will JQ team get a bonus for being part of the start of the series like Ferrari does in F1? Oh God. Why can I not see more? Jesus. Where's Khabib? Can someone explain to me why this happens? Jesus Christ. I'm just gonna put emojis on instead. Oh God. Okay, then I managed to click see more and there was no more. I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown, I swear. So, well, I don't know about 100 million. So you're saying Ferrari gets 100 million bonus because they were there at the start of the series. But what I do know is the brands that believe in this, support the series, and basically risk their money for this new venture. I don't believe it to be a big risk. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? We just have 4 race weekends just like any other race weekend, and it's like, well, nothing changed. That's the worst thing that can happen. The best thing that can happen is like we basically reinvent the wheel to some extent, like we change the game. That's the best thing that can happen. That's why I hope the brands join. So the brands that do join first, they will definitely benefit from it. They will be the ones who have more of a say in the series and kind of on the board of the series. Like, what should we do now? How should we change the rules? What direction should we go with the series? Those brands that believe in the series and join first, they will have that say. So if your brand is like second year, we'll join now. Well, I'm sorry. You weren't at the table when we started this shit. So you can't, unfortunately, have the same privileges as the people who believed in it and put their money where their mouth is. Because everyone's saying, oh, things need to change, we need to do this, we need to do that. Then someone does it and it's like crickets. So, I mean, which is it? Are you happy with things now? If you are, then stop complaining. Stop asking for something new. If then when something new is presented to you, you're not going to do it. It's my opinion. So yeah, the people who join now will definitely benefit, and their voices will be heard more than people who join later on. It's going to be great for everyone. It's just going to be that much more great for the people who are first. Where's that SCRC hat? It's in the van. It's in the race van. I left it there. It's ready for the next race at SCRC. Took a screenshot of the car, of the front and back of the car. That's good, because there's no money on it anyway. Waved. I waved to someone. I don't know what the hell is happening here. Silly season. So we last place pay the most. Well, the place I finish pays the most every race. That's a rule. Nitro drones would be cool. Nitro drones, that would be interesting. Actually, one thing about drones, I can't wait for drone weapons to come out and the world really to end. I mean, they do exist already. It's just, I guess the wrong people don't have them yet. But can you imagine people with drone weapons? So, like the drone itself exploding on impact, and then you just set the coordinates and have it fly somewhere, or have many drones fly. I mean, Jesus Christ. How do you even defend yourself against that? That's gonna be crazy. How do you honestly think we could ever have races at Supercross? Logistically, that is impossible. I really want to see more on this average Joe Bornhorst post. I am gonna click see more until I freaking see the whole message. I'm gonna jump off the balcony. So, what is going on with this phone? What the Why can't I see the whole... I'm gonna go on my laptop. This is fucking pissing me off. Okay. So where did he comment this? Sheesh. So wait, we need to address Bornhorst's attitude here. Give me a minute. I'm gonna open this on my laptop so I can see. Where is Bornhorst? You can't turn your phone horizontal while you're doing a video. That would just mess everything up. Come on. We're better than this. I can't find the comment now. Oh, for fuck's sake. It doesn't go far back enough on the comments. What the okay, Average Joe, can you repost your comment, please, before I have a meltdown? Or is it just, oh, there we go. And again, there's like nothing more to it. Don't you think? It's everything that was behind that Seymour. Okay, so Average Joe says, how do you honestly think we could ever have races at Supercross? Logistically, that is impossible, don't you? No, I don't think. That's the difference between me and you. You think things are impossible, and I just think things haven't been done yet. Fuck. Most things that are cool, people like you said were impossible. And then someone like me was like, well, why can't we do that? And then they just do it. That's how it goes. They already have like tons of dirt in the Supercross pits for some lame BMX tricks, you know? Why couldn't there be an RC race? Easily. They have dirt. I don't see a reason why there couldn't be one. I just don't get it. That's like, it's just the wrong attitude, Joe. Why are you even racing? How can you win the Worlds? You're never gonna win, right? I bet you think you can win. See what I did there? I flipped it back on you. It's just logistically impossible for you to win. Oh, God. Use Android instead, people are saying. Not those kind of drones, Greg. I mean like small drones that normal people can have. Like a small drone you can launch off your balcony and you can just go blow someone's car up. That's what I mean. Okay, let me catch up with it. Yeah, I was watching my own live. Actually, it's still on. That's weird. Honestly though, where in the stadium would it? Outside in the pits, for fuck's sake. Come on, Bornhorst. One thing I do know is you got way too much time on your hands. Just trying to see, Joe is trying to see what my thought process is. Just focus your efforts on driving your techno around the track, because that takes a lot of concentration, okay? Save your brain cells for that. The Taliban has those already. Well, I mean, that's what I'm waiting for. Basically, the world's gonna end when that happens. Okay. Okay, we're all caught up. So I think those, are there any more questions about RCGP, or did we cover that? So RCGP done. Okay, JQ Threads. So the JQ Threads story, this saga has been going on for like 4 years already. Is it 4 years? Pretty much. Web shop, basically done. A few product pictures need to go up, the shipping costs need to be added, then it's going live. It's gonna definitely go live this month. And pretty excited about that. Finally, we can start selling t-shirts, hoodies, and we still have a few hats left. My girlfriend said, Joe has a girlfriend? Maybe you could lend him some brain cells because it seems like he's fresh out. Again, I have to see more. Oh my God. Fresh out of them, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm just surprised Joe has a girlfriend. That's like, it's news to me. What was I saying? Yeah, so the JQ Threads web shop this month, and we can finally start selling some clothing. We managed to put a roof on a school in Mozambique, but there's 2 more roofs to go. So we need to sell some stuff to be able to do that. And we're supporting 10 kids over there. Tank tops, well, maybe one day. 10 kids in that same school from the same village in Mozambique. We're supporting them monthly. We're buying wristbands. And then they have the money to go to school and money left over for the family. So that's what we're doing right now. And I'll let you know when the webshop's live. And then another thing. So since I moved over here, we kind of shut down operations in Finland. So I still have the office over there and storage, but we don't have the parts there anymore. We're not shipping out the webshop orders from Finland anymore for Europe. So what we did is we teamed up with Donuts Racing, I know, Degane's favorite in France. And it's a great company, just south of Paris. And they'll be shipping out all the JQ orders in Europe. So they're busy working on their website right now, a JQ Racing section in English. And all our team drivers will in the future be ordering from there. Dealers can also order from there. And just direct customers too. So that's what's happening in Europe. So our main stock will be in France. Central location, easy to ship all around Europe. So I think that's going to be good for us, good for me, because it frees up my time, and I have time to focus on bigger picture things. And also it's good for our drivers and dealers because they'll be able to get their parts faster, and also the stocks will be updated constantly. So like we had the issue where we'd run out of stuff because I dropped the ball. You know, I wasn't on it enough. So I think this will be a really good move for us. And then as for Finland, we teamed up with Euro RC, which is a Finnish web shop, and they'll be taking care of the Finnish team and the Finnish market. And Max will still be racing JQ, so he will be at the races and have parts and all that jazz. So in Europe, things are moving forward. And the same thing in America. So in America, we were shipping everything out from California, but things kind of got out of control. It grew too much, there was too much to ship. We needed to have too much, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now. Anyway, we were shipping out too many orders and we needed to have too much stock. And we couldn't keep up with it. So I figured, okay, either we're gonna have to get a bigger place, hire full-time staff, or we need to make a change here. And what we did was we teamed up with Beach RC on the East Coast, and they now take care of the JQ team and dealers and direct customers. So jqracingusa.com, that's the website. You can buy all the stuff there, and soon it will also be listed on Beach RC again. And you can get your stuff there, and the team drivers, that's where you should be heading. Keenan has all the info, and you'll be set up with your team account through them. And of course, A-Main is also selling JQ stuff, so you can get parts now online, both in Europe and in America, really quickly and easily. And hopefully, as the brand grows and more people at local tracks have the car, then local hobby shops will start carrying the parts also. There we go. So that's that. So I feel relieved in a way that our situation in Europe and in America is in good hands now. So it was all getting a bit too crazy for me to deal with, but now we have good companies in both Europe and America taking care of stuff, so I'm not worried about that anymore. Now I'm just supporting them, and they're taking care of all of our drivers. Okay, Beach RC has been great. Last thing, silly season. Let's talk about silly season. This year, honestly, like the first silly season I did, I was just so into it. Like I knew everything because I was finding out stuff and talking to people, and I knew what was going on. Last year, I knew some, but not all. There was still some decent, scoops I had. This year, I haven't really been, I haven't been in it so much. So I know a lot of things, but I don't know them for sure. Like that first year, I knew the kind of similar amount of things, but I knew them for sure. I knew like, okay, this is just a rumor and this is really happening. So I was confident in what I was saying. But now it's like, I can tell you all these things, but I wouldn't bet a lot of money on it because I can't be as sure as I was before. But you know what I'm gonna do? Because I'm so sick and tired of the past 10 years of my life or more. Just doing all this shit and getting shit in return. And I don't mean the people who actually buy JQ cars and support the brand and buy JQ threads. I mean the majority of people who don't. Because I get a lot of views on my blog, a lot of views on these videos. I reply to a lot of messages on Facebook, and they aren't just for JQ races. It's just general setup stuff, or hey, my X-ray is doing this or that, and it doesn't really matter, or HB or Mugen or whatever. I just help everyone. And I just put all that information out there for free. And I just got to the point where I'm like, I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm tired. Why do I keep on doing this? So you know what I did? I figured out, look, the setup guide, it needs updating. We need to improve it. It's old information. It's still good, but I've learned a lot more. And I can explain some things much better than before. And also I have some things to add to it that's not included. Then I also want to add videos to the blog, because when you talk about setups, you can explain what the car is doing, or you can explain a section of the track. But it's much better if you can show a video this is what happened. This is what the car actually does. So this is the problem. Then you make this change, it will do this instead. So you can show it in videos and slow motion videos. So I think that would be a really good thing to have. Also, when you're at the track, if you could just pull up your phone, go on an app, and find an answer to your problem. That would be really helpful too. Or if you're at a track you've never been at, maybe you can pull up that track and see what setup changes were made on that track. So you know, all those things can be done, and I want to do them, but I just can't do them for free because time is money. And I figured there are enough people out there now where it's not even a lot of money for you. It's 1 cup of coffee a month. 1 cup of coffee a month. If the people watching these videos and reading my blogs and asking me questions on Facebook, if those people just spent the same money that they spend on 1 cup of coffee a month and supported my Patreon, then I can do all of this. I can have an app developed, I can pay some people to film and edit videos, and I can set aside the time to rewrite the guide, and I think it would help all of us. It's a win-win. It's not a lot for you, but it will change this whole situation, and it will make it possible for me to actually finish that guide and improve it a lot. So if you want that, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the silly season stuff, but I'm only going to do that for the people who support me on Patreon. So patreon.com/TheQuagraine. You can just pay $1 a month if you want, or you can pay a cup of coffee a month, or $5. Everyone can pay $5 a month. It's easy, and you can stop anytime. You can just pay for 1 month, or you can pay for 10 months, or you can change the amount you pay. It's not that much, really. 1 can of beer. Yeah, just 1 can of beer, or maybe 1 sweat of Bacardi. That's all I'm asking. Because I'm tired of doing so much for free. So if you want to hear all the silly season scoops, then head over to Patreon. I'm actually going to see if I can do one right now. I'm going to go on Patreon now and see how their live streaming system works, and if I can figure it out, I'm going to do it right now. If I can't figure it out, then I'll make a post and tell you when it's going to be and when it's going to happen. Yeah, so that's what's going to happen. Silly season on Patreon. I'm going to try and figure it out right now. If I can do that, then it's going to be on there in a few minutes. What a hustler. Yes, sorry, Courts. You're not going to see it. Let's see how soon there'll be a pirated version of it. They'll be banned from JQ forever. Ruining my hustle. Okay. Someone screen record it and repost it. Alfredo Morales banned from JQ for life. Scam alert. I'm gonna ban you like I was banned. I'll hack it. Okay, we need to end this, but I need some help. Joe Bornhorst, how do I get banned? Joe, don't worry about it. I thought you were leaving already. You already said I'm out or something like that. I saw, but you're still here. Just for 19 cents a day. E-Buggy. There we go. See you next time. Got work to do. Need to figure out Patreon live video.